My name is John Renshaw and I'm Chairman of the Governors at Scarborough College. It's my great pleasure this morning to welcome you to the 2020 COVID-driven online version of Scarborough College's prize giving ceremony. Let's all hope this is the last time we have to settle for this very second best medium. It's so very sad that many of the people who are watching today would normally have travelled to Scarborough to be here in person. This annual prize giving weekend is usually a great chance for all pupils to meet up with old friends and fellow students, to talk about their new lives and how they've moved on from their Scarborough College days. Sadly, this year, the head teacher, Guy Emmett, and I are not allowed to welcome you in person, and you are all very much missed. And we put this presentation together for you so that you can enjoy just a little of the pleasure and satisfaction that would have been available if only you were here for real. 2020 has been a very challenging year so far. We're still not past the virus problems, and we're all hoping that 2021 will turn out to be very different indeed. Strangely, while other similar organisations to ours have been very badly affected by lockdowns, and some have been utterly devastated by them, Scarborough College has triumphed over every adversity and emerged stronger than we had ever thought possible in the competitive environment that is private education in the UK. We have found new parts of the world to bring students from, and we're all very grateful to the recruitment team under the diligent leadership of Remco Weeder. We talk a great deal about our Scarborough College Yorkshire Grit programme, and it's at times like these that we can see how the catchy idea plays out in real life. We don't give in when the going gets tough. We don't allow adversity and problems to get us down. And we just refuse to let this virus dominate and ruin our lives. Building mental toughness into our young people can do them so much good. It can shelter them from the pressures and the pain of recurring failure. And the confidence that our pupils gain from being here is visible and real, even if it doesn't come with a printed certificate attached. I ask myself a simple question many times over. Are we giving our young people the best possible education, plus the important life skills they need to flourish in the modern world? And the answer is always the same. Yes, we do. And that will continue to be the answer. You're about to be introduced to the many prize winners for 2020. But please remember that everyone who comes to Scarborough College is a winner. Listen to all the wonderful things they have achieved. Look forward to what they may all do in their futures. And remember, the solid base of their success has been built here in Scarborough. I'm going to finish by thanking all the parents in the audience for allowing us to do everything we can to help your child. And I now hand you over to the head teacher, Guy Emmett, to take you through the achievements of our 2020 prize winners.
Chairman, distinguished guests, governors, students, parents and staff, it is my pleasure to report for the second time here as headmaster on Speech Day, and I stand here before you with immense pride. Of course, we should all be together today celebrating the achievements of our pupils. Equally, this evening we should be at the OSA Ball, where people from around the world fly in to be together. Last year, I was struck by how many people attended today's event and the distances people travelled to be here. It is not to be, but as Scarboroughians, we will not be downbeat. Never has our Latin motto, Pense Fort, seemed more fitting than when describing the spirit of the college in recent months and this year. And this seems the obvious place for me to begin. Pense is think, and thought is strongly, powerfully, mightily, vigorously, firmly, steadfastly, courageously, bravely, and or boldly. Perhaps we will stay with think strongly and think of a spirit that is shining through at the college. On the 3rd of April, I wrote to parents, guardians and pupils to say it is time to show our character and support each other. I was asking us all to think strongly. When the Education Secretary, Gavin Williamson, announced on Wednesday, 18th of March, the closure of all UK schools from March 20th, we all did not know what the next few weeks and months would bring. Those 2 days showed us the character and the caring plus compassionate nature of our pupils and staff. The pupils and teachers rallied around each other. Lessons remained full of joy, and a smile and a spirit of kindness, determination, support, and a mindset to ensure we upheld our school values where most needed shone through. This includes the non-teaching staff, who've ensured the lifting of spirits for all and reflect the family atmosphere of the college that you feel from the moment you walk into our beautiful school. Those 2 days highlighted what was to happen when lessons moved online. I want to thank all pupils, parents, and of course teachers for how well we all work together and continue to do so. Ever since I arrived here, I have felt warmth, kindness, and a family spirit that shines through, both as a dad of a pupil and as a headmaster. We still face challenges, but the dedication of our school community, from the pre-prep to the sixth form, ensures the academics and the pastoral care for our pupils continues to thrive. This was reflected in the excellent Year 11 and Upper 6 examination results last year. Results that were much deserved for year groups that were prevented from sitting their formal examinations. It was sudden and too quick for these pupils, but no learning is ever wasted, and a colleague said to me, "We have been building a foundation, layer by layer, brick by brick, for the studies that follow. I know they will thrive in the studies that follow." Across the country, we hear concerns about pupils finishing syllabuses in Year 11 and Year 13. Being a Google school has certainly helped us, but the dedication of all at the college means our pupils are set to achieve impressive results this summer, and the current Upper 6 will lead the way by achieving outstanding IB results. They are applying to the finest universities in the UK and in the world, and with a sharp increase in Oxbridge applications, we are all excited for the results this summer. However, I'm equally proud of our prep pupils who always show a love of learning both inside and outside the classroom. I am pleased they do not have to sit SAT examinations in Year 6 and can develop a true love of learning. During the summer term, we might not have been in a classroom together, but via Zoom, Google Classroom, and various other means, we still excelled. Of course, it was not the same as being at school, but we gave it everything. The work pupils produced, their support for each other, and the determination of all shone through. For a few years, this generation has been called the snowflake generation. We can always rely on the press to come up with positive names and headlines. Well, I have seen, and we have all seen something different. At the college, we have seen pupils who have risen to every challenge thrown at them. They are determined, independent, but also emotionally intelligent. In fact, so are their teachers, who work so hard to ensure the education of children didn't suffer despite the challenges we all face. Our children excel in front of an audience, a crowd, in a classroom, or in interviews at universities or for jobs. However, on the 19th and 20th of March, it was the quiet and occasional loud moments of those 2 days that their kindness, support for each other, and the love of the school shone through. All pupils, but in particular Year 11 and the now departed Upper 6 pupils, faced much uncertainty. Of course, they had many questions about their examinations. However, you could see the friendships they had formed. In some cases, during just a year in Year 11, but for some of our pupils, this has happened since the age of 3, where they began their journey as a little owl with Mrs. Jackie Hunter. Their positive attitudes and their Yorkshire grit shine through. For the Upper 6th, this meant pictures together with staff, such as Miss Ramsey, a game of cricket at the front of school with Finn Redfern at the crease, or time with a teacher such as a much-loved Mr. Wilson. Yes, there was sadness during those 2 days, but they made the most of those 2 days and showed Penzay thought. The departed Upper 6th reflect the pupils at the college. They are a remarkable group of people who have excelled in the classroom, on the games field or on stage. They also have a great sense of humour. Whether it be the hugely successful Girls' First 11 hockey team led by Maddie in goal, concerts with Martina and Connor playing so beautifully, Hannah leading the equestrian team, Harry organising everyone for a charity event, or a splendid school play with Hattie leading on stage, they have all excelled. In fact, a small group of the Upper 6th are at university together in the northeast of England and are thriving despite the challenges they have faced. Oxford, Glasgow, King's College London and Newcastle have been UK destinations, but I am proud that students are also studying at universities around the world. Harry Bulmer as head of school and Maddie Hill as deputy head of school have given me a great deal of support, advice and always think of other people before themselves. They have been supported by an excellent group of senior prefects. I enjoyed each Friday meeting with the group immensely, with Harry proving to be an outstanding head of school. A very heartfelt goodbye to our brilliant Upper 6th and to some of the students who departed in Year 11. Thank you for everything you have given to the college. You become old Scarboroughians and join a great club. We look forward to you coming back soon, and we will always be there for you in the future. Martin Luther King said, "We must remember that intelligence is not enough. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. You have shown that you have character in abundance." At the college, I always say our children are true all-rounders. When I read the UCAS references of pupils who left last year, and the references for our current pupils, you see how much they contribute to all parts of school life. It made me think of why a prize day is so special, as we showcase the achievements of our pupils, academic, sporting, performing arts, Duke of Edinburgh, and prizes such as for debating, all reflect an all-round educational ethos that so many schools admire and even seek to copy. I thank all pupils for what they have given to the school, and I applaud them for standing out from the crowd. It is why they excel beyond school life. Co-curricular life has flourished at the college, and during the first 2 terms of the academic year 2019-20, we saw no boundaries in both the number of participants and their achievements. Music and Lambda continue to thrive at the college, and the long list of pupils who performed brilliantly at the Estelle Festival, secured Duke of Edinburgh Awards, participated in the UK Maths Challenge, received the Associated Board of Royal School of Music Awards, and achieved numerous representative honours in sport reflects the true all-rounders that our pupils are, and I feel privileged to be involved in this journey. In music and the performing arts, the results at the Estelle Festival were outstanding, and Lambda, with nearly 100 exam entries, continues to be at the heart of the college, with excellent results led by gold medalist and current senior prefect Rio Currigan. So many excellent results are achieved by our many pupils, And as promised last November at Prize Day, Bugsy Malone was a hit. And the standard of plays, concerts in both the prep and senior school, virtual concerts, Lambda, Duke of Edinburgh, Yorkshire Grit continues to rise, although of course we have faced restrictions. This term, Lambda has clinched the headlines, with children excelling across all ages in categories such as acting, public speaking, and verse and prose. Sports is thriving at the college, although we all look forward to the return of fixtures. The under-15s rugby team, captained by Jack Drinkwater, reached the last 8 in the country in the NatWest Cup. En route, they defeated teams with nearly 2,000 pupils. Rugby is thriving across all age groups, and last year the under-13s were unbeaten, and all our teams enjoyed some impressive victories against much bigger schools. The under-11 boys and girls hockey team led the way last year with trophy success, and they secured places at the North of England finals. The under-13 girls still remain undefeated despite travelling throughout the North of England, Kent and even to Holland. We are sure they could have challenged for the national title. The first 11 girls, skippered by Hattie Gillingham and Maddie Hill, only lost one fixture in another outstanding season. Lucy Walton led the girls to an excellent netball year, and the boys' re-established first 15 also secured some impressive victories. The boys also achieved some pleasing hockey and football victories, with the first 11 being skippered by Luke Burton, playing with great spirit, although they were unable to defend their Yorkshire title. The equestrian team also competed at the national NSEA finals and represented the school with distinction, and they were led by Hannah Marley, Ed Bradley, Tilly Fenton and Tilly Marley. From our European water ski champion Tom Parkin to our triathletes Ozzy and Matilda Stringer, our golf champion Tommy Risker, we have pupils with so many talents from Yorkshire and around the world. The recent England hockey success stories, with 4 pupils earning England under-15 Hockey Performance Centre squad places, is extremely impressive. Congratulations to Beth Hiley, Isabella Holdsworth, Lucy and Kate Barker. Jack Lucas, a UK Lion, is also pushing for further national selection, and Eve Naylor, an outstanding player, has been training at Loughborough University, having been involved in the National Performance Centre programme. The establishment of a golf academy and the Cricket Centre of Excellence with some incredible players is exciting for the future. The college continues to thrive across all ages, including the prep school, and in sports such as equestrian, cross-country and basketball. For a small school, we are achieving some incredible results, and the standard of performing arts and sport shines throughout the school. How does a school of our size achieve all of the above? Simple. People. Dedicated teachers. Wonderful children. Yorkshire Grit. Penzay Fort. And great facilities to support all of us. The character developed by activities such as music and drama is reflected in the classroom. From the age of 3, our children are inspired. We are also inspired by our pupils. And Martina Wu last year earned a place at Oxford University to study music. Martina is a stunning pianist and practices every day for 2 hours. Our head of school, Rachel Wilkinson, achieved a place in the National Youth Theatre. And Joseph Duffy, age 11, plays Michael Banks in Mary Poppins in the London West End. When the theatres reopen, go to London and see Joseph perform. I must also thank parents who take their children all over the country to support their passions. This leads me to a true all-rounder who I wish was here for me to present the Sword of Honour to. A person who receives this award should reflect the Scarboroughian spirit, values, and be a true all-rounder who's contributed to the college. This person worked incredibly hard to achieve wonderful examination results. They played lead roles in school plays, led from the front on the hockey pitch, contributed to outdoor activities, charity work, and was incredibly helpful to me as a senior prefect. I congratulate Hattie Gillingham for being the recipient of the Sword of Honour. Recently, my family and I visited the lighthouse in Scarborough. You may recall I mentioned the lighthouse in my speech last year. I used the following quote: "The beam from a lighthouse during howling wind and rain always remains perfectly steadfast and unaffected by the storm." This is how I felt as a headmaster with a pupil I am surrounded by. My family are right by my side. They love the school, the town, and the people. We all feel so lucky to be here and filled with pride. The senior management team and the governors, led by John Renshaw, have led the school with dedication, intelligence, and a determination to ensure Scarborough College is one of the best schools in the country. Under the charismatic leadership of Mr. Barker, my own daughter is thriving at the prep school. Mr. Cashel is incredibly dedicated, caring, and an outstanding schoolmaster. I thank the whole team, all staff, parents, and above all, the pupils, for how we have remained unaffected by the storm and in fact continue to thrive. It is wonderful that the school has a waiting list in some year groups, full boarding for this term, new subjects at GCSE and IB, a sixth form that is on course for our highest results in years, and more interest throughout the school since records have been kept. No wonder I visit the classrooms on a daily basis in both prep and senior school, and the standard of teaching and care is extremely high. Our school will always maintain the ethos of what makes our family school so special. Of course, the virus has affected us all, but I refuse, in fact we refuse, to be downbeat. Splendid academic results, great teaching, record number of applications, but above all, wonderful personal and collective achievements by the girls and boys at the college mean we have so much to celebrate. We have completed the renovation and expansion of our boarding houses that are amongst the best in the world, enhanced many areas of the school site, increased the amount of teaching staff, and being a Google school has proved to be vital. The academic and co-curricular excellence which the school prides itself on, combined with a school that prides itself on being a family. A family that knows we cannot stand still, and we must strive not just to be the best school in Yorkshire, I think we are, but rather one of the best schools in the country, where our schools are revered around the world. I say that with no hint of arrogance, but rather with ambition and excitement and a genuine belief that the ingredients are in place for Scarborough College to be that school. However, these are not things I expect pupils to say. When they talk about the school, they will talk about their peers and lessons with teachers such as Miss Walsh, Miss Adams, or Mr. Fraser. They may also thank Miss Pickney, our incredible nurse, or teachers like Miss Speak, who with the support of Miss Stewart made 699 masks for key workers, or the boarding staff who kept the boarding houses open last Easter and just recently this half term. Whilst other schools packed their children on the next flight home, we remained a family. To our pupils, the feelings are mutual. From little owls who skip towards me when I visit their classroom to the sixth form, we are proud to work with you. To me, you show Penzay Fort each day. This was highlighted in lockdown. I will never forget visiting the boarding house at Easter. I could not come in, as I had been working with key workers, and it was right to be cautious. Knowing I couldn't come inside, the next day I revisited and I knocked on the kitchen window to check they were in good spirits. To be honest, perhaps it was for selfish reasons. I was missing the children. I was missing the noise at the college. They showed me why. They'd arranged for Easter eggs to be sent to the house and dropped them through the window for our 2 children. Perhaps I love chocolate too much, but I see acts of kindness like this every day. The staff, teaching and non-teaching staff, with their lip sync of "I want to break free," highlighted the joy we feel each day. Okay. I feel honoured to be head of this great school, and I thank you all for a year where our spirit, acts of kindness and unwavering support from all has brought us even closer together. At the start of my speech, I said we refuse to be downbeat, and why should we be with what you have heard today? To end, I introduce you to a member of staff who in his last lesson had children dancing in the classroom. Of course, I'm talking about the inspiring Mr. John Horton. Last year, Mrs. Eves, Miss Brooks from the prep school and Mrs. Stockhill from Little Owls all retired. We said goodbye to Dr. Chen, Mr. Jackson and PGCE teachers Mr. Ratcliffe and Mr. Cowlishaw. Mr. Horton is a perfect person to be the guest speaker today and represent the staff who we miss greatly. For our pupils, and in particular the upper sixth who he taught and inspired, he's the person to them who epitomises the school motto, Pense Fort, and why I feel, and we all feel, that we thrive during this challenging time. I know they would want Mr. Horton, to speak at their final prize-giving speech. I now introduce Mr. John Horton.
Thank you, Guy. Oh, sorry, Mr. Edmund. I first met some of this year's leavers in 2012, 8 years ago. It was the year of the merger between Bramcote School and Scarborough College. And in September, I was the Year 6 tutor. I had 20 10-year-olds. They were a bit of a mixed bunch, actually. Some from Bramcote, some from Scarborough College, some from Woodley. People like Harry Bulmer, Hattie Gillingham, Tilly Fenton. What was it like? Well, I can remember it was very noisy indeed. If you think that those three talk a lot now, right, you can imagine what they were like when they were 10 years old. So it was noisy, but it was a lot of fun too. They were a great group. They threw themselves wholeheartedly into everything that Scarborough College had to offer. Sport? Well, perhaps not Harry with the sport, but drama? I think the production that year was the Titanic, produced by Mr. Gardner, and it was really good. Terrific production. Extracurricular activities, the classroom. It was a great year, a great start to the merger between the two schools. And they certainly all played their part in making that merger a great success. Since then, they have been joined by numerous new pupils into their year from all over the UK and from all over the world to make up the Scarborough College Leavers of 2020. And whether you have been at Scarborough College since you were in Little Owls, as I think Harry Bulmer was, or you joined Scarborough College in the sixth form, I want to congratulate you on what you have achieved as the Scarborough College Leavers of 2020. I want to congratulate you on the prizes that some of you have won, the places that many of you have gained at university or college or other places of further education. Obviously, I want to congratulate you on the way that you've dealt with these last few months, really difficult few months for you. And I want to congratulate you on your exam grades and your exam results. But I'm really hoping that you've got a lot more from Scarborough College than just good exam grades to get you into university or college. School is about so much more than just exam grades. It's about preparing you for the life ahead. It's about doing Duke of Edinburgh, walking up horrible mountains with a massive backpack on your back in pouring rain, like some of us did in the Lake District last year on a horrendous day. It's playing in a school team with your mates. It's being in the school production. It's making horrible, embarrassing mistakes that even when you get to be as old as me, you still cringe when you think what an idiot you were. It's about having horrendous ups and downs through your school career, but knowing that your friends are going to be there to support you. It's about making friendships that I promise you will last the rest of your life. It's been pretty tough for you this year, the Leavers, but I know that you have got through it, through those friendships and the support of the rest of the year group. As well as recognising the achievements of this year's Leavers, I think that every pupil at Scarborough College should be congratulated on what they have achieved during the last 8 months. Last term was really tough, but the resilience, the enthusiasm, the determination, the support for each other, the spirit that every pupil showed at Scarborough College means that we have got through it. And I know that you are still showing those qualities now that we are back at school in September. You are back at school. And I would encourage you to keep making the most of all the opportunities that the college has to offer. You only get one go at life. It's different, it's difficult, but you've still got to make the most of those opportunities. Right, I've nearly finished. I'm very conscious that as we're online, you can switch me off at any moment. But there is one final thing that I would like to say, and I don't really have to say it. As you know, I'm now retired. Right? I'm not part of Scarborough College Limited anymore. I spend my days going to the gym, riding my brilliant new bike, right? Having coffee with Mr. Wilkie at his allotment. That's something old guys do, by the way. Right? Watching far too much Indian Premier League on Sky Television. So I can say what I like about the school. I'm not like Mr. Renshaw or Mr. Emmett. I don't have to toe the party line. But I'm not going to let the moment pass without saying what a fantastic job your teachers have done during the last 8 months. Online teaching, now you're back at school, your teachers have shown all their usual commitment, skill, determination to give you the best possible experience that you can have. And I really mean that. Your school has done a fantastic job since the start of lockdown, and I know that many of you will appreciate that. It's been a tough couple of terms for every pupil and every person who works for Scarborough College. But from where I'm standing, as an outsider now, I really mean it. You have done a fantastic job. And the Leavers of 2020, you've probably had it harder than anyone else. Probably harder than any final year since the Second World War. But your determination to keep going, your spirit, your friendship, your enthusiasm has been an inspiration to everyone. I wish you all good luck for the future and your time at university or college.
The Year 11 prizes. Matthew Barker, the Art and Design Prize and the Mathematics Prize. Jonathan Corkwell, the Physical Education Prize. Leah Fisk, the Year 11 Effort Prize. Hamish Fraser, the German Prize and the History Prize. James Lawson, the Spanish Prize. Sophie Lunn, the Year 11 Effort Prize. Idea Mohammed Hussein Khan, the Business Studies Prize. Eve Naylor, the Heads Prize for Best GCSE Results, the Biology Prize, the French Prize, the English Literature Prize and the Physics Prize. Emily Oakey, the Year 11 Effort Prize. Carol Ann Rowett, the Drama Prize. Sahiba Saheed, the English Prize and the RE Philosophy and Ethics Prize. Freya Shaw, the Chemistry Prize and the Geography Prize. The Upper Sixth Prizes. Ehsan Ahmed, the J.R. Smith Prize for Biology, the Collins Prize for History, and the Spanish Prize, now reading Mathematics at Glasgow University. Edward Bradley, the J.R. Smith Prize for Physics, now reading Agricultural Business at Reading University. Harry Bulmer, the Heads Prize for Head of School, the Friends Award for Endeavour and Achievement. He has accepted an internship with Ernst & Young in Edinburgh. Luke Burton, the Doughty Sportsman of the Year Prize, now reading Business and Economics at Northumbria University. Ivan Chan, Business and Management Prize, Economics Prize, the Hewer Cup for Best All-Rounder in the Sixth Form, now reading Economics at Leicester University. Michelle Cooper, the Anna Mack Prize for Engagement in and Enthusiasm for English, now reading International Relations at Dundee University. Tilly Fenton, the Friends Award for Endeavour and Achievement, now reading Business Management and HR Management at Hull University. Hattie Gillingham, the Environmental Systems Prize, the Geography Prize, the Theory of Knowledge Prize, the Patrick Hall Memorial Prize for Cass, the Jonathan Wharton Award for Creativity, the Charlton Prize for Commitment to Drama and Performance, the Sword of Honour, now reading Geography at Newcastle University. Maxi Gamosi, German for Native Speakers Prize, now reading Economics at Vienna. Maddie Hill, the Geraghty Cup for Deputy Head of School, the Archer Sportswoman of the Year Award, now reading Veterinary Biosciences at Aberystwyth University. Lucy Hodgson, the Visual Arts Prize, the Extended Essay Prize, now reading Biological Sciences at Liverpool University. Connor Lally, the Davis Prize for Commitment to College Music, now reading Music at the Royal Birmingham Conservatoire. Sebastian Luke, now reading Economics at the University of Munich. Henry Louis, now completing an International Foundation year at Swansea University. Platon Lomtev, now completing an International Foundation year at Swansea University. Hannah Marley, the OSA Isles Cup for Outdoor Pursuits, now reading Bloodstock Management at the Royal Agricultural University. Fabien Maras, now reading International Business Management with French at Northumbria University. Francesca Meraviglia Mantegazza, the French Prize, now reading International Business at Amsterdam University. Stella Nolkana, currently taking a gap year before attending the University of Vienna. Moise Raza, now reading International Business at the University of Kent. Finn Redfern, now reading Business Marketing Management at Northumbria University. Katie Unner, the Friends Award for Endeavour and Achievement, now reading Professional Policing at York St John. Lucy Walton, the Heads Prize for the Best IB Results, the English Literature Prize, now reading Business Management at Liverpool University. Otto Westphal, currently taking a gap year. Maximilian Wieland, currently taking a gap year. Carmen Wong, now reading Physiotherapy at Manchester Metropolitan University. Martina Wu, English Language and Literature Prize, the Psychology Prize, the Sullivan Cup for Music, the Alex Williamson Memorial Award for Musical Achiever of the Year, now reading Music at Oxford University.
the OSA Alumni Award 2020. This award, which was introduced in 2013, is given to recognise the achievements of a member of the OSA in the hope that it will inspire the next generation of Scarborough College students to go out into the world and be the best they can be. I am delighted to announce that this year's recipient of the Old Scarboroughians Alumni Award is Malcolm Grimston. Malcolm was at the college from 1969 to 1976 under the headship of Dennis Cruz and Richard Wilkinson. He was a member of Lodge House and focused on science and music. After A-levels in maths, physics, chemistry, music and general studies, which he passed all at grade A, he went to Magdalen College, Cambridge to read natural sciences, specialising in psychology in his third year. He sang with the Cambridge University Music Society Chorus and was a member of the Standing Committee of the Cambridge Union Debating Society. He was also a choral exhibitioner, taking part in the Sunday service each week in the college chapel under the expert guidance of the organ scholar Tim Kirkup, later to be headmaster of Scarborough College. Graduating in 1979, he spent an extra year taking a postgraduate certificate in education, which led to a 7-year career as a chemistry teacher, first at Stowe, near Buckingham, and then at Millfield in Somerset. At both schools, he kept up his interest in music, producing and conducting a staff school joint production of Britain's Little Sweep at Stowe and taking various roles with the Strode Opera Company in Somerset. His life took a dramatic and unexpected turn in 1986 when he spoke from the floor in a debate on nuclear power while visiting a friend at the University of Birmingham. He got into a protected correspondence with the late John Collier, the chairman-designate of the UK Atomic Energy Authority, which led to a post being created for him at the UK AEA, doing something in the public understanding and presentation sphere. Neither Malcolm nor John had a terribly clear idea what precisely this would involve, but he moved to London in 1987 to take up the position. After 8 years with the UK AEA, writing, researching and speaking on the side issues of energy and nuclear power, 3 of which were on secondment to the trade body now called the Nuclear Industry Association, Malcolm was appointed a Senior Research Fellow at Imperial College in 1995. He is still an Honorary Fellow of the Imperial Centre for Energy Policy and does a few lectures a year. 4 years later, he started a spell in a similar position with the Royal Institute of International Affairs at Chatham House. Always a prolific writer on energy issues, while at Chatham House he wrote his first 2 books, with the late Peter Beck, Civil Nuclear Power, Fuel of the Future or Relic of the Past, and Double or Quits, The Global Future of Civil Nuclear Energy. Meanwhile, in 1994, he was elected as a councillor to serve West Hill Ward in the London Borough of Wandsworth, in which role he was to have front-bench responsibility of housing, for education and for environment and leisure, and was for a time the Conservative spokesman on education for London local government. However, energy and nuclear power remained his focus and he became a regular media contributor, notably after the earthquake and tsunami which engulfed the Fukushima nuclear power station in Japan in 2011. In 2016, he published his magnum opus, Paralysis at the Heart of Energy Decision Making, and continues to take part in conferences and presentations on the wider energy debate. He resigned the Conservative whip in 2014 and has sat as an independent councillor since, winning the highest number of votes of any candidate in London, 4,002, in the 2018 council elections. His 2017 book, West Hill and Wimbledon Parkside, Story of a Council Ward, has sold nearly 1,000 copies locally. In 2016, the local orchestra performed his Wandsworth Symphony. Since 2012, he has been in a blissful civil partnership with his Cuban partner Carlos. Malcolm looks back on his time at college with great affection and is still in contact with many of his friends, such as Paul Artley, Jamil Hamid, Rod King and Russ Presney. When Tim Kirkup invited him to give the Founders' Day lecture in 2014, it was wonderful to see such long-retired figures as Dennis Cruz, Peter Burton and John Alderson, and Colin Brooke. Colin had joined the physics department during Malcolm's time at the college and he was still there. At this point, we would normally welcome Malcolm to receive the award, but instead we are going to wait until it is safe and appropriate for us to be able to award him in person. It is planned that Malcolm will visit us at the college and also spend some time with the senior students who will be able to share and quiz him firsthand about his truly interesting and diverse life and career. Congratulations, Malcolm, and we look forward to welcoming you back to the college in the very near future, 2021.
Hello, I'm Rachel, the current head of school. I wish I could be saying this in person. This is certainly not the prize given we had in mind, but hopefully I will get the chance next year. I'd firstly like to thank Mr Renshaw, the chairman of the governors, and also Mr Emmett, our wonderful headmaster, for their speeches. Our guest speaker, Mr Horton, who we all miss dearly, gave a heartfelt recount of his memories at Scarborough College and Bramcote Prep School. It was lovely to hear the stories about last year's leavers, Ed Bradley, Harry Bulmer, Tilly Fenton, Harriet Gillingham, Maddie Hill and Lucy Hodgson, who were his first Year 6 students. Thank you, Mr Horton, for coming back here one last time, although I don't doubt we will see you again, hopefully next time in person. I would also like to thank all the teachers at Scarborough College for their incredible effort and support during lockdown. I know certainly from my year we would have struggled tremendously without them. Finally, I would like to say a massive well done to all of the prize winners. Your efforts during this difficult time have not gone unnoticed, and you all greatly deserve the award presented to you. Well done.
Hello everybody listening from wherever you are in the world. I'm grateful to be sat here talking to you about my 12 years at Scarborough College, and most importantly, my final year. When I got the whole role as head boy, I had to question why, as I'm not academic, I'm not sporty, and I'm definitely not musical. So why on earth did they pick me? Well, I'm still wondering that. But I can't thank Guy Emmett enough for giving me this opportunity. My final year of Scarborough College was one of the most enjoyable years at school, and although stressful and sometimes very frustrating, I have created memories that I will cherish forever. Unfortunately, over the next 5 minutes, you get to listen to me babble on about my time at Scarborough College and why it will always be so close to my heart. When I found out I was head of school at 8:30 in the morning, I truly did not know how to react. I then later found out that Maddie was my deputy, and I could not have asked for a better person, as I knew she would keep me down to earth and her help would be vital throughout the year. And of course, the senior prefect team contributed so much throughout the year as well, with one of our most proudest accomplishments being stopping the sale of plastic water bottles in the cafe and persuading the school to provide all of the pupils with a branded water bottle. My life at Scarborough College began in 2008, 12 years ago, and well, I can say a lot has changed between now and then. I joined in year 2, and one of the funniest memories from the junior school that I remember was sliding around the library on whiteboards. I'm not entirely sure how we came around to doing this, but we did, and then of course the inevitable happened, getting caught by a teacher. And of course it was the teacher that you were afraid of the most, Mrs Brooks in my case. It is of course memories like these you cherish the most and never forget. I couldn't possibly move on without giving Mr Robinson a mention and his amazing farm camping trips. These trips really were the highlight of my junior school years, sitting around a campfire, having a barbecue and then playing hide and seek with Mr Horton and everyone else. What could possibly beat it? I will forever hold the laughter we had on these trips in my heart. Now, like any other person, moving into the senior school was one of the most daunting times in my life. However, the school knew exactly how to settle us in by taking us on a trip to the lakes. We did various activities such as rock climbing, swimming in the lake. However, one night, several girls got trapped out of their room. And then, without going into any more detail, this led to the now infamous fallout. However, I would say that this bonded us for the rest of our lives. It really was a memorable trip. Although some of these memories may not seem funny or significant to you,
These really did shape my time at Scarborough College, and I truly will never forget them. Although I do have to admit, I may have had a little bit of help bringing some of them back up to the forefront of my mind. Now, as we all know, D&V is a big part of Scarborough College, and every time I think of D&V, I think back to bronze practice with Georgia, Alice and Anila taking part. And one of the most important items they packed into their rucksacks was their makeup bag and hair straighteners. Of course, walking 15 miles in a day, you had to look the part. To this day, there's been one memory of the tennis courts that I'm sure everyone in Year 10 will never forget: the famous fight between Izzy and Anila. I can honestly say this has stayed as a running joke ever since this occurred. But I can happily say they became very close friends and still are to this day. One of the first trips of Year 11 was a trip to Wycombe Lakes, and similar to our trip to the lakes, the school used this as our bonding trip. This trip really did make my Year 11. In the morning on the Sunday, I woke up to a story being told by Maddie, Georgia, Alice, Anila and Izzy about how in the middle of the night they woke up to go to the toilet and they thought they saw a guy. So they all picked up a fork and a broomstick, whatever they could find from the bathroom, to scare him off. However, they later realised it was just a sign. This really does make me laugh to this day. Naturally, Year 11 doing GCSEs, school life can't be all fun, and this was especially true for English. Nevertheless, there was one teacher who made this bearable for me, and I can only be talking about Mrs. Walsh, or as she was later called, the jewel of the school. I can only thank her for the effort she put into me to make me pass my GCSEs and then the IB English course. I honestly hold so much gratitude to her, because I couldn't have done it without her. The English lessons were made even greater on a Friday afternoon when we had circle time at the start of the lessons during GCSEs. And of course, I cannot forget the daily lookout at the car park during the IB lessons. One of the staple school trips was the ski trip, and my last trip was one of the best trips I've been on. And it is all down to one person providing fun for a lifetime: Amelia. Let's just say she spent more time on the ground than actually skiing, and we were lucky enough to catch the majority of the many falls on camera. But the worst fact was, she was a better skier than me, and I have probably been skiing around 10 times previously, and I have never made it into the top group on the ski trips. I honestly told you I wasn't sporty. I could not move on without giving a special mention to Mr. Wilson, who I can safely say provided enough stress for all of the teachers across the school. Mr. Wilson first taught me business at GCSE level, and I can guarantee I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now without his help and assistance. I can only thank him with my whole heart. I really hope one day he can calm his stress levels and stop frantically jogging around the school. One of the most anticipated moments in the school year is the release of the lip syncs, and I would say our year was probably one of the most competitive years, but this only brought around some good house rivalry, and unfortunately for Hornby House we didn't do so well, and I'm still annoyed about the result to this day. Now, in the sixth form, everybody knew about Finn's eye for the European girls. And all I have to say about this is that for any new European girl joining, they would have to watch out for Finn before he used his criminal smooth talking lines on them. Anybody who has joined the sixth form will know what a big deal their desk is, and our year was no different. I shared a desk with Hattie, and I can safely say I truly have found a friend for life, and someone who I will cherish forever. And being such good friends, we made our desk for what I believe the best desk in the study centre. At Christmas time we had tinsel, lights and even a Christmas tree. And for anyone needing a desk hoover, we had that covered too. I want to thank Hattie for motivating me through year 13 and for making it the best year of my life so far. Another thank you has to be said to Mrs. Robledo for putting up with me for 9 years of my time at Scarborough College. Whenever I think of Spanish, I think of her and her sheets of paper and thousands of words to translate. I frankly could not have passed Spanish without her. So thank you so much for all that teaching over the years. The completion of Gold DFE was an amazing achievement to everyone who did it. However, I'm not going to mention any more about it, as all I can think of when thinking of gold is Finn's trench foot, and trust me, it's not a pretty sight. So swiftly moving on to a study centre sport, which included a ball, a bat and a wicket. It was of course study centre cricket. The upper sixth boys made a championship out of this cricket. That was before the few times they were caught, although I'm pretty sure they should have been writing their IAs during this time. One more thank you must go to Mrs. Ramsey for putting up with our challenging year group, to say the least. I can't quite believe we all survived the year. On a personal note, I would like to say thank you for helping me keep on track of things in my final year at Scarborough College and keeping morales up through 2020. I'd like to conclude by saying on behalf of everyone a massive thank you to all of the teachers, groundsmen and people behind the scenes for all of the hard work they do every day, and even more so in 2020 due to COVID. I'm sure the challenges faced aren't easy, but in true Yorkshire grit style, we'll get through it. Of course, another thank you must be said to Guy Emmett for his work within the school and for supporting me throughout my year 13. Now, I said to myself I wasn't going to mention COVID, and I'm going to stick to that. But it has made 2020 a challenging year for everybody, and I would like to wish all of my year group a huge good luck for whatever may happen in the years to come. I'd like to direct my final good luck towards year 13, who will be sitting their exams in May. I wish you all the best of luck, and I would like to say a special good luck to Rachel Wilkinson, who is the new head of school. I'm sure you will have a fun time fulfilling your role, and I'm sure you will make the most of it. I know I said I was going to be only 5 minutes, but somehow you've managed to put up with me for 10 minutes, so thank you for that. Now I'll leave you and let you get on and enjoy the rest of prize giving. Thank you.
One, two, a 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.